Breaking news right now. Governor Eric Greitens is preparing to give a statement at any moment, and this comes on the same day a Cole County judge ruled a new Missouri must turn over documents.
Yep.
I'm Joey Parker, joined along with Alyssa Toomey. And Alyssa, these developments have been fast and furious almost every day.
Yeah, absolutely. We have reporters stationed outside of the governor's office right now. We're told that they are not letting into the governor's office just yet. We are waiting. We have those reporters on standby.
Any minute now, we're expecting the office to open their doors to let everyone you see behind me set up inside of the office. It's been a busy Capitol even after the session ended recently here in Jefferson City, as the special House committee has continued its investigation into Governor Eric Greitens. Now, today's testimony in particular was from a former campaign aide that spoke to ABC 17 News a few weeks ago as well about those early days of the Greitens for Missouri campaign. Mike Hafner testified to the House committee, as he had done before, about the Mission Continues donor list, just one of the two major scandals that the governor has been involved with since the beginning of this year, about his campaign getting a list of donors from the charity that Greitens started, which would be illegal under certain federal laws as well. Hafner had testified to the fact that they were also looking to solicit foreign donors to the campaign, which were never disclosed to the Missouri Ethics Commission. This also comes on the same day, as you mentioned, a Cole County judge has ordered that the campaign, as well as a nonprofit that is closely tied to Greitens, turn over some documents to investigate if there is any ties between the two, including any sort of money that may have passed hands between the two organizations, and because many of the people are involved in both of those organizations, that nonprofit called A New Missouri. So among those two things going on today targeting the governor, we know of this scheduled 4:15 news conference with Governor Eric Greitens. Just what is going to be announced has not been discussed amongst members of his office. I did see his director of policy, Will Scharf, go in there about 10 minutes ago, just said hello and walked into the office after that. So we are still waiting for them to open the doors to let people set up. Joey and Alyssa, will be interesting as the next 10 minutes evolve here in Jefferson City.
It does look like the governor is approaching the podium. Here we go.
Good afternoon. Today, I am announcing that I will resign as governor of Missouri, effective Friday, June 1st at 5 p.m. The time has come, though, to tend to those who have been wounded and to care for those who need us most. So for the moment, let us walk off the battlefield with our heads held high. We have a good and proud story to tell our children. Let's love them and each other every day. May God continue to bless you and to bless the great state of Missouri. Thank you.
Governor, did you take the photo? Governor, did you take the photo?
And there you go. The 56th governor of the state of Missouri has resigned. So Friday at 5 o'clock, then the way the Constitution reads, it is that Lieutenant Governor Mike Parson will become the governor. ABC 17's Lucas Geisler is standing by. He was at the office during this resignation announcement. And Lucas, what is the mood like there now in the halls of the Capitol?
Joey and Alyssa, just a couple minutes ago, I asked his policy director, Will Scharf, who passed me right here, if he had anything he wanted to say. He chuckled and said, "I'll hold my tongue for now," as he continued to walk down the second floor hallways of the Capitol, where the executive branch of government is currently here. Many of those members of his cabinet were in the office as their boss announced that he would be resigning this Friday at 5 p.m. Around that time is also when Lieutenant Governor Mike Parson is going to be sworn in as the new governor. But in that room, as Governor Eric Greitens announced his plans to resign later this week, he once more said that there were forces against him, political forces against him that would not stop. And with, as he said, mounting legal bills, getting into the millions of dollars, he said the best thing to do for his family was to go and tend to them. That was the moment where he appeared to get emotional, saying that he needed to go tend to the wounded in this case. Of course, the cases that are facing Governor Greitens may not end after his resignation. He still faces a felony charge in the city of St. Louis for computer tampering, for allegedly ordering a charity donor list to his campaign to help him fundraise for it. And The Jackson County prosecutor in Kansas City is considering whether or not to refile that invasion of privacy charge related to an alleged photo that he took of his former mistress in 2015. News of that affair leading to this, the last few months of this scandal that has enveloped the state capitol. I asked the Jackson County prosecutor today if this decision to resign would affect their investigation at all. A spokesman for that office told me 3 words: our investigation continues. Now, just what decision they will make because of that investigation, we will see as they continue to review charges, and we continue to get reaction from all over the spectrum as far as the resignation of Governor Eric Greitens.
Breaking news at 4:15 today, the governor of Missouri, Eric Greitens, announced his resignation.
Yeah, it is the first time a governor of the state has resigned amid a scandal, and Lieutenant Mike Parson is set to take over.
Now, we have team coverage coming to us from the Capitol today. You see our reporters who have been working this story for quite some time.
On those felony charges, I do have some new information to report there. St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner, who filed both of those felony cases, one for invasion of privacy related to his 2015 extramarital affair, the other for computer tampering related to Greitens allegedly directing one of his employees to send his campaign for governor a list of donors. She says that they will be giving an update tomorrow as they have reached a, quote, fair resolution on the pending charges. Quote, I know my decision to charge Mr. Greitens in February and March with 2 felonies was met with both praise and criticism. As a prosecutor, my decisions must be based upon facts and evidence, regardless of the position of or power of the accused. While that may have been unpopular at times, that's my job.
And we're going to go now to ABC 17, Zara McDowell. Zara has been outside of Mike Parson's office, and as Lucas, as we just mentioned, it's a little bit unclear how this transition is going to happen. Zara, we had heard that Lieutenant Governor Mike Parson was going to be at his office at 6. It's now 6:01. What are you hearing?
Alyssa, I have not seen Lieutenant Governor Mike Parson show up yet. He was expected here at 6 o'clock. He was not in the Capitol when Governor Eric Greitens has announced his resignation. But I talked to his representatives shortly after, and they said as soon as he heard the news, he made his way to the Capitol. He does live in Bolivar, Missouri, with his family, and his representatives say he's just a 63-year-old good old farm boy. I will be outside of his office until he shows up tonight. There's no word on if he will just release a statement or if he will do a press conference tonight. But I will be out here for the remainder, waiting for his appearance. For now, reporting live at the Capitol, Zara McDowell, ABC 17 News.
Zara, thank you. Well, that good old farm boy is about to be the next governor, the 57th governor of the state of Missouri. He was a sheriff in Polk County. Then he was a representative. Then he became a senator. And, of course, in 2016, he ran for lieutenant governor. And we're hearing a lot from lawmakers. And right now, ABC 17's Kelsey Kernstein joins us live from the Rotunda. Kelsey.
Joey, it's super slow at the Capitol with everything that has been going on right now. We did cover the entire Capitol to find out what lawmakers are saying. We ran into Representative Mike Kelly, who tells us that he asked people to pray for the governor and his family.
The resignation of Governor Eric Greitens came as a shock. I know it came to a shock to many in my district. I think at this point I just ask that you pray for Governor Greitens, his family, for our state, and for Lieutenant Governor Parson as he takes on the great challenges of leading this state.
Kelly kept reiterating that he's in shock, as well as everyone in his district are in shock of the governor's resignation announcement today. Reporting live at the Capitol, Kelsey Kernstein, ABC 17 News.
Zara pointed out, too, while it is unclear whether Mike Parson could make a statement of some sort, we would presume, probably safely assume that he is likely going to say something because everything does close down at the Capitol at 5 p.m. So if he is heading back there, he knows there are camera crews stationed outside of his office right now. Everyone's been contacting his staff as well. So presumably he'll say something about the position that he's now in.
He knows he has a state to answer to now. I mean, it may not be official until Friday afternoon, but it is imminent. and it is something that he has to deal with. And he has told us, ABC 17 News, just last week we were talking to him, and whereas he remained mostly silent this whole time, he did say that he is ready and prepared to do the job that the voters have asked of him. And as Lieutenant Governor, that of course means becoming governor if something were to happen to the governor.
Right, and the one thing that Mike Person also did was that, like you said, he remained very quiet. He did not share his opinion on the investigation or share any opinion on whether or not he believed that Governor Greitens should resign. That isn't the case with other lawmakers. In fact, local lawmakers did call for his resignation ahead of time.
Many of them.
Many of them, yes, Republicans and Democrats. And now we're hearing from local lawmakers who are reacting to his resignation. So let's take a look here. Attorney General Josh Hawley says, quote, "It is the right move, and he's hoping for the best as Mike Person takes over as governor." And then Senator Claire McCaskill is also reacting, only commenting on the incoming governor and what she is looking, and that she's looking forward to working with him.
Sticking with the Democrats, Gail McCann Beatty, I believe we have a statement from her, and this one was not as polite. This is the brief and deeply troubled term of Eric Greitens is a case study for why Missouri's highest elected office is no place for beginners. Governor Mike Parson possesses the integrity and his predecessor lacked. And House Democrats will offer him whatever assistance we can as he begins the difficult task of restoring credibility to state government. Harsh words there from Democrat Gail McCann Beatty.
Yeah, and that is similar to what we saw. You had mentioned before that she had tried to remain fairly, bipartisan and not let everything happening with Governor Greitens. We're hearing that we could possibly, let's actually take a look at what Mike Parson is saying.
Speaking.
Friday, but tonight we'll be doing a written statement, basically on talking about what happened today.
How did you find out? How did you find out? What just the nuts and bolts of it?
I just received a phone call earlier this evening, and actually at my home, was actually out at the farm at the time I received the call.
How surprised were you?
You know what? I don't know that it really, right now, we're still trying to kind of just grasp everything like everybody else is, and we're just kind of have to figure out that right now. Governor Greitens is still the governor of the state of Missouri, and I'm the lieutenant governor, and we're going to function that way until Friday as the time comes.
Have you talked to Governor Greitens? Have you talked to Governor Greitens, sir?
What do you want to tell the people of Missouri? I feel good right now. I feel good, and we're going to be fine in the future, and we're going to move Missouri forward.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Very good.
He feels fine and going to move Missouri forward.
Yeah, some words of reassurance there.
Right. That's right. And again, we'll be hearing a lot more. We know that they're going to have a written statement, and as soon as that comes out, we will break it to you. If it's not during this newscast, we'll do it at abc17news.com.
Absolutely. All right, and we'll be back in just a minute.
I just received a phone call earlier this evening.
And then I got several text messages that said, "We hear the governor's resigning."
I feel good right now. I feel good, and we're going to be fine.
This ordeal has been designed to cause an incredible amount of strain on my family.
We continue our breaking news tonight as reactions pour in over Governor Greitens' resignation just about 6 hours ago.
Yes, we're going to go out to our crews who are live in Jefferson City. We start with ABC 17's Lucas Geisler, who is live at the governor's mansion. And Lucas, you actually saw Governor Greitens' wife there. You've also been speaking with the St. Louis County prosecutor and the Jackson County prosecutor.
Yeah, that's right, Alyssa and Joey. I saw First Lady Sheena Greitens out on the front lawn of the governor's mansion just after 8 o'clock tonight. Now, she quickly went around the side of the building after we arrived. The personal security details, of course, were out on the lawn as well late tonight. I have been speaking with the St. Louis City Circuit Attorney as well as the Jackson County Prosecutor's Office, the two offices in charge of figuring out what's next for the criminal cases still facing Eric Greitens. He walked down Capitol steps and courthouse stairs during his term, but Eric Greitens today took a step away from the governor's office.
Today, I am announcing that I will resign as governor of Missouri, effective Friday, June 1st at 5 p.m.
The end of his term, just 1 year in, came after months of criminal charges and investigations. Greitens says millions of dollars in legal bills and attacks against his friends and family weighed on him, but he maintained he was innocent.
The time has come, though, to tend to those who have been wounded and to care for those who need us most.
One of those criminal cases could come to an end tomorrow. St. Louis prosecutors say they have reached a resolution in the pending charge against him. Kim Gardner's office says they made a deal with Greitens' defense team and defended her decisions to prosecute the governor. Quote, as a prosecutor, my decisions must be based upon facts and evidence, regardless of the position or power of the accused. While that may have been unpopular at times, that's my job. The governor says history will decide how fair the process was.
So for the moment, let us walk off the battlefield with our heads held high. We have a good and proud story to tell our children. Let's love them and each other every day.
A spokesman for Jackson County Prosecutor Gene Peters Baker says that their investigation will continue unimpeded. They were the ones that picked up on looking into whether or not to file any charges related to the governor's 2015 extramarital affair. We are also keeping tabs on the man who will succeed Governor Greitens and become governor once he steps down later this week. ABC 17's Barry Mangold joins us live at the state capitol outside Lieutenant Governor Mike Parson's office. And Barry, the lieutenant governor seems to have as many questions as we do.
Absolutely, Lucas. When we were talking about the impeachment process and how that would work, lawmakers said there was no playbook to reference, and that is still the case today. But now the question is, who will fill the lieutenant governor's office after Mike Parson fills the governor's seat around the corner? And I got the chance to ask Lieutenant Governor Mike Parson that question exactly as he was headed home for the night. Here's what he said. Is there any idea how the next lieutenant governor will be selected?
I do not. We haven't even crossed that yet at this point. Missouri is much larger than any one elected official, so I look forward to Missouri is going to come together. We're going to move forward, and that's what my job is going to be as a leader, and our other leaders in this state will step up and we'll lead this state.
Have you spoken to Governor Greitens?
I have not.
And earlier this year, lawmakers decided or considered a bill that would give the governor the ability to appoint a lieutenant governor, which could mean that Parson might be able to pick his replacement. But as I understand it, it is not clear if that will be the procedure or if lawmakers will need to agree upon something else by the end of the week. You heard the lieutenant governor himself saying there that he has not even thought about this yet. But it is safe to say that Missouri leaders will need to decide what to do by the end of this week, and in turn, that decision will set precedent for the state's future. Live in the state capitol tonight alongside Lucas Geisler, I'm Barry Mangold, ABC 17 News.
All right, thank you so much, Barry. And we are still getting some new reactions right now.
It's been a long, hard road these last few months, and I think really the people were fed up.
I'm disappointed. I'm not saying the governor was guilty or innocent, but I was hoping that he would get his, as they say, day in court. Looking at the big picture, I think he did the right thing. He for his family and for the state.
And at this point now, about 6 hours since the governor made the unprecedented announcement that he was resigning, statements have come in from pretty much every elected official, both local and statewide. Most agreed it was the right decision, no matter what their opinion was about the governor. Senate Floor Leader Mike Kehoe said it is regrettable, but he didn't want to see, quote, this spectacle continue to drag on. State Auditor Nicole Galloway went one step further and said, quote, corruption in state government became worse than ever under Eric Greitens.
Governor Greitens' resignation announcement came hours after a Cole County judge ordered two pro-Greitens organizations, Greitens for Missouri and New Missouri, to hand over documents to the committee investigating the governor. The judge said they had until Friday to hand over all the information, but the committee canceled its meetings for the rest of the week, and we don't know when they'll resume them or if they will. The order says the groups must open documents and communications and hand them over to the Special Investigative Committee. Today, one state senator said this could be a little more than a coincidence that it happened on the same day.
You know, the judge ordered that he had to release information about New Missouri, and then he resigns. This governor will go down in history as the governor of dark money. And I think the people of Missouri are so fed up with it that they'll eventually demand that dark money be outlawed.
we're most likely going to be hearing a lot more about so-called dark money. And A New Missouri, by the way, is a social welfare nonprofit group supporting the governor's agenda.